All right. Welcome to another live edition of the Sloppy Bro Show with your buddy Marcus. Hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. Welcome to the future, folks. Welcome to Corona World. I tell you, here we go, week 3 of isolation. Working from home. Thankfully, I'm not going to bitch because I am one of the lucky ones that I am able to work from home. You know, that's what you can do when you work for yourself, when you become an entrepreneur. It allows you the luxury of doing things like that. But for those of you that aren't entrepreneurs, I hope that whatever company or business that you're working for, gives you that ability. And if not, I hope at least they're able to put you on furlough and allow you to keep your benefits until we can ride this shit out. My heart really breaks for everyone who's lost their jobs during this time and their insurance because, it ain't fucking right. And for those of you essential employees out there, I really hope that your companies are taking care of you. In my personal opinion, you motherfuckers should be getting hazard pay. Double what you're making. Especially all the goddamn first responders. Damn nurses, doctors, EMTs, cops, everybody that's on the front line with this shit. You are way underpaid. It's really sad that we live in a country, we'll pay a fucking athlete, somebody that all they can do is throw a fucking ball or dribble a ball, or hit a ball. We'll pay them millions of fucking dollars a year, but yet you guys, that are literally putting your fucking lives on the line to make sure that we, the people, are being taken care of or being healed, or at the very least, going out with some dignity. It's disgusting. You guys are the unsung heroes, and I love and respect each and every one of you. So keep up the good work. So yeah, here we are, week 3, isolation. Gotta tell you, it sucks. Don't like it one bit. But it is what it is. What are we going to do? We've got a national stay-at-home order from the president. Every state has issued their own stay-at-home orders. We can only go out for the essentials. Beer and alcohol, which I think is fucking hilarious. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm glad we can still do it because I'd be fucking shitting bricks right now if I couldn't fucking drink. But I do think it's ironic that, we're going to let the ABC stores, the liquor stores, all those stay open, but we're shutting down schools because, fuck them kids. Fuck them kids. They can work from home just like their parents. Which I kid, because I know that's a good thing, because let's be honest, little kids are like fucking carrier monkeys. From the movie Outbreak. They spread disease. And I say that as a single father. And don't get me wrong, I love my son to death. I do. He means the world to me. He's the greatest thing. He's my greatest accomplishment in life. But I got to ride his ass to wash his hands, I ain't gonna lie. So yeah. So I'm really curious to see, what everybody's been doing to kill the time. I know I'm not the only one self-isolating. I know a lot of you out there too. So, feel free to drop in the comments, little things that you're doing. Are you making any, improvements to your life? Are you, studying for, extra certifications, or you learning a new hobby or skill? Are you working on that side hustle? Or are you just being a, lazy jackass and just, watching every episode of The Tiger King? Because I see a lot of that shit on Facebook. And I got to tell you, it blows my mind. Now, I ain't going to lie. I did watch every episode of The Tiger King. And I got to tell you, that is some low rent, white trash shit. It's nothing but a bunch of toothless meth heads that have big cats, tigers. I mean, it's crazy. It just goes to show the American people will literally watch any piece of shit that's put in front of them. No, I'm not gonna lie, it was slightly entertaining, but not in a good way. You know, it was kind of the bad way. Where you just want to point and mock at those less fortunate than you, which is not a good thing, mind you. I'm not advocating that, but that's what it is. But lo and behold, it's been blowing up damn Facebook. Everybody's got a goddamn meme about it, and fucking Carol Baskin killing her husband, and free Joe Exotic. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. If I'm gonna watch something, I'd rather be something good, like season 3 of Ozark. That's awesome. Or rewatching the entire series of The Blacklist. That show was epic. If I'm gonna spend my time, watching that, that's what I'm gonna watch. And I have been lucky to catch a couple of good movies. I did finally see The Hunt. I didn't watch it in the theater, though. I'm not going to tell you how I watched it. Wink, wink. But I did finally see it. It was a very good quality video. And that movie was awesome. I got to tell you. And I know it would be. Back in, 2019 when it was causing all that controversy, which I didn't really understand. I don't get why the right got so worked up about it. Because, yes, it was, liberal elites hunting, deplorables. But in the end, spoiler alert, the fucking deplorables win. They come out on top, just like we always do. So I didn't understand why everybody was like pitching such a fit. Why I had to wait so long for it to get released. Because, it was awesome. Lots of great action, spectacular kill scenes. It was just really good. So I'm really glad I got to see it. So yeah, watching movies, watching TV shows, trying to improve myself, studying for some, new certifications, spending as much time with my son now that he's at home that I can, making sure all his meals are made and he's fed and helping him with his homework, dad and son shit, having some really good conversations, that I've always had good conversations with my son, but now I'm having good conversations with my son every day, and that's pretty fucking cool, So, it's just fucking, there's some upsides to this damn self-isolation shit, But I will go and tell you folks, man, if you want to survive in today's economy, you got to have multiple skill sets. You can't just have one thing. You got to have a side hustle. You got to work for yourself. You've got to have different avenues and venues. So when shit like this happens, and you cut off from one thing, you could immediately jump to another thing and keep that ball rolling. And that's the great thing about the internet. It allows us to do that. It does. That's probably the one good thing about technology that I really like, the fact that it opens up so much more opportunities for us as individuals. But you got to want it. You have to want more than what you've got. You've got to strive to do better. You can't just, be happy and content, with a job at McDonald's flipping burgers, and then get pissed off because shit like this happens and your only choice is to flip burgers at McDonald's as an essential employee, so that you can keep, putting money on the damn table, and feeding your damn kids. Which I gotta tell you, if you're working at McDonald's to feed your damn kids, you're fucking doing it wrong. Fast food is not a job for trying to support a family. It's not. It's a job for teenagers. Save a little money, take little, Susie Q out on a date on a Friday night to the movies or whatever. Buy a stereo, put in your car, CDs, not CDs, but, MP3s, whatever. I just showed my age right there with the whole CD comment, didn't I? Things like that. It's not meant to sustain or support a family. That's what minimum wage is. It's for teenagers. So if you're a full ass grown adult making minimum wage, taking care of your family, I'm sorry. I know it's a fucking struggle, but that's not what you're supposed to do. It's not how it works. You know, and now that we're all self-isolated and we're practicing social distancing and all that, now is the time to figure out what makes you happy, what you're passionate about, and figure out how to turn that into something to make you money. I don't care what it is. Figure it out and make it happen. And if you're not figuring it out and making it happen, and you're still blaming everybody else, the government, society, all that shit, the truth is you're just a lazy prick. Sorry. Hashtag real talk. And I'll be honest, that's one of the things that has really bothered me most through this whole thing is the damage that it's doing to the small business person in this country. That's what really pisses me off. Fuck the corporations. Fuck Walmart. Fuck Target. Fuck Lowe's. Fuck Home Depot. Fuck all those big fucking corporations that are, raking in billions of dollars a year. And, they're taking all kinds of fucking handouts from the fucking government. Fuck those guys. It's the small business person that I'm upset and I'm concerned with. Entrepreneur, the guys that are, taking the damn dice, rolling, betting everything on fucking, lucky number 7 and putting it all on the fucking table. The small restaurants, the small bars, the small hardware stores, appliance stores, all that shit. That's who I'm concerned about and I'm pissed off. That's what's going to happen. But it's definitely fucking, scary times that we're in. I don't know what to make of this virus. I know from what I've read and seen, on the news, and I'm not talking mainstream media because I don't watch that shit, with the exception of Fox News. This shit is concerning. It's a fucking crazy ass virus going around. Chinese are lying to us. I have no doubt about that. They're not telling us the truth regarding their numbers. I really believe that they're the ones that caused this shit. And it fucking sucks. But, if we need somebody to blame, we only have ourselves to blame. You don't have to look in the mirror because, our politicians sold us out to China a long fucking time ago. They did. We moved all our manufacturing and shit overseas, just to save a fucking buck, and put more money in our politicians' pockets. We allowed that to happen because, we continue to vote for these motherfuckers. And I'm not being, bipartisan with this shit. Partisan with this, because the Democrats and the Republicans are both responsible for this shit because they're both guilty. They both have a hand in this bullshit, And the reality is these politicians that have been serving for, fucking 20 plus years, 30 plus years, that have made millions of dollars, from a position that only paid $174,000 a year. These are the fucking problem with the country. They're the ones responsible for this shit. And yet we keep voting them in, every election cycle. And I don't fucking quite get it. We're fucking sheep, apparently. Fucking sheep. So again, if we need somebody to blame, we can only look at ourselves in the mirror. Because we're responsible for this shit because we keep tolerating and putting it up. Because, we have failed to realize that, it's we the people. We're the ones that decide how this country runs. You and me. We're the people. We don't work for them. They work for us. And what they do is, they try to divide us. They try to separate us. They divide us by, by race. They divide us by, money, poor versus rich. They divide us in all kinds of ways. They get us arguing and bickering with one another. Republicans versus Democrats, conservatives versus liberal. They want us to be enemies because if we're separated, we're easier to control. We're easier to rule and govern. And that's just reality. Meanwhile, these damn Republicans and Democrats behind the scenes, they're shaking hands. They're having cookouts and barbecues. They're getting together and hanging out like the best goddamn friends because a lot of them are good friends. And they're laughing at us the entire time. Check out these fucking dumb fucks. Oh, God, we got them right where we want them. So, I've spent all week wondering, when are we going to say enough is enough? When are we as the American people going to say, you know what, fuck this. We're not doing this shit no more. We're taking our country back. Is it ever going to happen? I don't know. I would love for it to happen tomorrow, but one person can't do it all. I will say this, I vote in every election, local elections, national elections, always going to the polls and casting my ballot, and a lot of it starts locally, we got to, participate more in local elections. They're just as important, if not more important, than the damn national ones. State elections too, because, I'm for a smaller government. I think the federal government's just gotten too crazy. It's gotten too goddamn big, I believe in states' rights, I believe in freedom, I don't like rules. I don't like being told what I can and cannot do, where I can and cannot go, I hate that shit. I'm a grown-ass adult. I can make my own decisions. I don't need the government telling me what to do. That's just my opinion. And I know some of you are like, oh, but Marcus, if that's how you really feel, and it is how I feel, oh, why are you for social distancing? Why are you for, self-quarantine? Look, I understand. We've got a fuck ton of healthy individuals in this country. Fuck ton. People that, eat right. They don't drink. They don't smoke. Don't do drugs. They exercise. They're in great physical shape. And that is fantastic for you guys. I'm glad you guys are that disciplined that you could do that. Honestly. I'm jealous as fuck. I wish I could be that damn disciplined. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm not. And it's just because I was never raised to be that disciplined. That being said, this virus is still going to take some of y'all out. They've shown on the news, healthy people are getting this shit too. And it's killing people. All ages, all health backgrounds. Nobody is safe from this shit. That being said, I understand some of you are just like, fuck it. I don't want to stay home. I want to get out and do it. And that's great. It's your right as an American. And as an American, I'm never going to tell you what you can and cannot do. It's up to the individual to decide that for themselves. I may not like it, but, whatever. But the thing with the self-isolation and the self-quarantine is because there are a lot of people out there like me that have health issues. A lot of old folks, with health issues. A lot of people in their damn 60s, 50s, and 40s that have health issues. And health issues could be shit as simple as high blood pressure, or high cholesterol or diabetes, heart conditions, COPD, lung functions. Some may have just one thing. Others might have 3 or 4. And it's those individuals that are at the highest risk. They're the ones that are going to, end up more than likely not making it if they catch this shit, especially if they get on a damn ventilator. I mean, if you get put on a ventilator, you've got about a 50-50 shot of getting off and being, sticking around, And I mean, that's not good numbers. So the whole stay-at-home self-isolation thing, it's not for you. It's not a punishment for you. It's to protect those people. And I mean, if you're cool about it and you want to protect those people, awesome. And if you don't, you want to be a dick, then that's your right too. I'm not going to judge you in public. I might silently, but whatever, man. Because America is all about freedom, freedom of choice, and I support that and I believe that. So I believe it's up to the individual to determine what's the right thing to do, for them. So that's all I'm going to get to about that. But I will say this, I think it's kind of funny that, since this whole thing started, you've got all these individuals that were anti-gun, that didn't support the Second Amendment. Now all of a sudden, boom, they're bum rushing, hitting all the gun stores and, trying to get guns and ammunition. And they're finding out just how hard it is to do. A lot of them are getting pissed off because, they thought it was easy. They thought you just had to go in, put some money down on the fucking counter, and boom, walk out with a gun. It don't work like that. And now they're starting to see it. So, and they're starting to see it because, just like us Second Amendment supporters, the reason why we have guns is so that we can protect ourselves, our family, our property. They're seeing long term down the road that if this shit keeps going on, if things start getting scarce, if supplies start to run out, you're going to have looters. You're going to have people breaking into homes, stealing shit just so they can survive, because that's human nature. It's in our nature to survive. We've been doing it since the dawn of time. So now they want to be able to protect themselves too. So I'm hoping after all this is said and done, maybe, we start doing away with all these damn ridiculous gun laws. All these bullshit gun restrictions. We just finally say enough's enough. We're not doing with it anymore. Now, fuck it, everybody should have a gun. Everybody should conceal carry, state to state, cross state lines, borders, whatever. If you're in America, you carry a gun if you want and choose. I doubt it's going to happen, honestly. But a man could dream, right? Man could dream. But yeah, because everybody, should be able to protect themselves. And let's be honest, an armed society is a polite society. And I believe that. Because if you think about it, if you look back, the 1800s and the Wild Wild West and all that shit, when everybody carried a damn 6-shooter on their hip, yeah, you had the occasional gunfight. Motherfuckers would, shoot it out over a disagreement, but, whatever. But for the most part, people were civil and polite to one another because they knew you pissed off the wrong person, you could get fucking shot. And nobody wants to get shot. So I think if we went back to that, things might be a little better. But, I could be wrong, I could be right. You tell me. But yeah, being at home, I mean, it gives you plenty of time to think, plenty of time to get on the internet and, research shit and look at shit. And I got to tell you, like I said at the beginning, I'm mad as hell. Our country literally has sold us out. They've sold us all out. They sold us to China. And it blows my mind that people stand up in defense of China, politicians and the media, you've got to be blind not to see it. They're lying. They've been lying since day one. And whether you like it or not, they hate us. They're a communist country. Of course they're going to hate us. We're a democracy. We're about freedom and kicking ass. They hate that shit. Period. I mean, you've got to be damn blind not to see that. And I'm not talking about the Chinese people. Not one bit. I think the Chinese people are awesome. They're a great culture. They're good folks. They want the same thing that you and I do. They want to be able to work and support their families and be happy and come and go as they please and say what they want, read what they want, feel how they want without the government stepping in. That's what we had. Remember the Chinese protests that were going on before all this shit started? Excuse me. That's what it was about. The Chinese people want what we have, what we take for granted every day in this country. They want it. It's the government that sucks. The Chinese government. They're the assholes. It's not the people. And it's not racist to say the Chinese government sucks. Because they do. It's the truth. But no, the Chinese people are awesome. And I hope like hell one day they are lucky enough to achieve the freedom that we take for granted in this country. I really do. I pray for it every night. Because they deserve it. Because, how long have they been under some kind of rule, whether it be some fucking emperor or communism? I don't think they've ever known true freedom. And that's sad, because every country in the world should have what we've got. Every single one. But yet we've got individuals here. Excuse me. We've got individuals here that live in this country, that live in the greatest country in the world, that can't see that don't respect that. They want to take that away from you and me. They do. They want socialism. Which, let's be honest, socialism is just another form of communism. And I'm not saying do away with the social programs. I'm not. There are social programs that we need in this country to help those in this country that are less fortunate than us. The ones that are not able to do for themselves. Either mentally or physically, because they have some form of handicap. Yes, we should be taking care and looking after those individuals. The problem is we've got a whole fuck ton of individuals that are capable of taking care of themselves, but they choose not to because they're fucking lazy. Because they would rather suck on the government teat than to get up and pick themselves up by their bootstraps and make something for themselves. To work and build a good life. They're too lazy to do that. And that's the problem. And those are the ones that we need to say, no, fuck that. You want it, you got to earn it. Ooh. Sorry, I was getting a little heated there for a second. My bad. But yeah, this is my week 3 of self-isolation. This is all the shit running through my head. Oh, God. I almost freaking forgot. So now, on top of all this coronavirus bullshit, we actually have American corporations in this country that just don't give a fuck about Americans. And this was proven by 3M. Because, 3M has been producing 10 million N95 masks a month. 10 million. Now, do you think they're selling those masks to our healthcare professionals? Our nurses and doctors, our EMTs, our police? Hell no. Oh, fuck no. This American piece of shit corporation is selling that shit to foreign countries and basically telling America to eat a bag of dicks. This is the world that we're living in, folks. I don't know about you, but it pisses me off. Because we need to take care of America first. We need to lock down and secure our borders so that, foreigners can't come into this country illegally and spread disease like what's happening now. Because how do you think this shit came over here? It didn't originate here. But do you think if we'd had, tougher restrictions, better security, maybe we could have eliminated it, or at the very least slowed it down a lot more than it is? But now, along with politicians selling us out, we've got to deal with American corporations selling us out because, they don't care about us. All they care about is profits, and we got to put a stop to that shit too. 3M, in my opinion, since we're at war with a virus, should be, should be counted as treasonous. They should be charged with treason. The whole corporation, because let's be honest, the Supreme Court ruled corporations are people. So let's treat them like people and fuck them up. Anyway, shit, I've been going on now for a half an hour. You guys are probably damn going, what the fuck, dude? This guy's. Anyway. So yeah, I guess I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. But, I'm thankful for those of you that tuned in, that watched. If you liked what you saw, you new folks, please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way, anytime I put a video up, you'll be the first to show. I would really love to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions on this shit. So feel free to drop them in the comments. If you agree with me, great. If you don't, I want to hear that shit too. I'd like to know where everybody stands on this. Because even after we get done with this whole coronavirus shit, this shit's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. It'll probably be another 5 years down the road, maybe 10, but it's going to happen again. So we got to fix this shit now so that what we're all going through, we don't have to go through it again like that. So let me know what you think. But as always, I will catch you motherfuckers on the flip side. Cheers.